Hello, welcome to video number 19. This is the last video of unit number 2. We've reached the end. Today's video is going to focus on extra practice for the quiz. I want to take a look at a couple different types of problems and make sure that we're ready for the quiz. Alright, the first type of problem I will look at are literal equations. We solved these for a couple of days in class, but I'm not sure we got enough practice, so I want to practice just a little bit more. In this very first equation, we want to solve it for x. So I like to mark what I'm solving for. I'm solving for x right there. We need to get rid of this plus c, so we're going to subtract c from both sides. We kind of do the same thing we would always do, but we can't always combine terms. So here, when we subtract c from the left side, we just get 2x. When we subtract c from the right side, we just get 10 minus c. Can't combine them. 10 minus c is exactly that, 10 minus c. And now I want to divide by the 2. So I divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 10 minus c over 2. And actually, that is fine to leave it just like that. Let's try this one. Again, we're solving for x right there. So I want to add 12 to both sides. I don't want the minus 12. So when I add 12 to both sides, on the left, I get bx. On the right, d plus 12 is exactly that. It's just d plus 12. Now, don't want b times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by b. And we're kind of done. The b's cancel because b divided by b is 1. And we just have x on the left, and we have d plus 12 over b on the right. There are a lot of different problems on this quiz. But one of them is like the ones in A and B. All right, let's take a look at these down here. These involve a fraction. I want to solve for x here. The first thing I want to get rid of is the 4 in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. On the left side, I'm going to get 4 times f. On the right side, the 4's cancel, and I'm going to get k times x. I'm actually almost done. It's much nicer now. I don't want k times x, I just want x. So I'm going to divide by k on both sides. So I get 4f divided by k on the left. On the right, I have my little pal x. All right, that's the answer. Okay, this one over here. Pi is not going to be a problem here, so don't be intimidated by pi. We're going to multiply both sides by 2 because I saw I have a 2 in the denominator. I want to cancel it. So I have 2p is equal to pi x. Again, pi is just a number. I'm multiplying by pi, so I don't want that, so I'm going to divide by pi. Okay, so on the left, that's kind of done. We have 2p divided by pi. And on the right, the pi's cancel, and I just have x. So x is 2p over pi. All right, excellent. Good luck on those. All right, the next type of problem I want to look at, we did very quickly in class, so I want to look at 2 more examples. These are problems where we're going to use proportions to write an expression. So problem A says a car travels m miles in h hours. That's kind of vague. I don't know m or h. At that rate, how far will it go in 2.5 hours? Well, I need to write an expression that in terms of m and h. So we're going to set up a proportion. So it travels m miles in h hours. So I got miles over hours. On the right-hand side, I got to set up my proportion the same way. They gave us 2.5 hours, so that's going to go in the denominator. And the quantity I really want to solve for is in the numerator. I'm going to call that x. So I have an m and an h. They're just part of the problem. I have a 2.5. The variable x is for the unknown I'm trying to solve for. Variable x in this case is how many miles it'll go in 2.5 hours. So we're going to cross multiply. You got to do 2.5 times m and divide by h. So 2.5 times m, then divide by h would look like this. And that's actually it. That's the formula for how many miles it'll go in 2.5 hours. Okay, over here a similar problem. P pounds of bananas cost D dollars. I'm going to set up my ratio, P over D. And set that equal to a ratio on the right side. So we want to know how much 4 pounds of bananas would cost. I put pounds in the numerator, so pounds are going to go in the numerator there. And x is going to represent the quantity I'm trying to solve for. Okay, so P and D are part of the problem. X is what I want to know. So I'm going to cross multiply. When I cross multiply, it's going to go this way. 4 times D divided by P. That's an expression for how much the 4 pounds of bananas would cost. Okay, so tomorrow set up a proportion. Just play along, put the same units on top on both sides and the same units on the bottom. I had pounds on top and I had dollars on the bottom. All right, time for our last example. Let's do one more rectangle problem. So on these, drawing the diagram is critical. So draw the diagram. It's talking about a rectangle, so just draw any old rectangle. It says the length of a rectangle is 17 inches less than twice its width. So the length is given in terms of its width. So I'm going to let the width be W. And this first sentence tells me how I can write an expression for the length. 17 less than twice the width. So 17 less means we're subtracting 17. Right, there's a diagram. And we might as well label all the sides just to remember to add them all up. And we want the perimeter to be 44. So when I add up the W's, I get 6W. When I subtract the 17s, I get minus 34. That's supposed to equal to 44. All right, this part is easy. So add 34 to both sides, and we get 78. Oh, my W disappeared. There we go. And if I divide both sides by 6, I get W equals 13. All right, I got to ask myself, did I answer the question? I said find the width. So this problem only asks for the width, so I answered the question. All right, it's journal time. Okay, so I hope you're confident like this dude over here. So he looks ready for the test. I hope that's the way you're looking tomorrow. It looks like he studied here. He took his book home and studied. So you can watch any videos. If you need to review something, look through your journal. And the homework pack had a bunch of review questions also. So make sure you look through these things. Okay, for the journal assignment, there are 4 problems like the ones we just talked about. So solve those. Ask me if you have any questions in class. Good luck. Hope you do well tomorrow.